Hello. Right. Today's little project is adding side lights. Now, I'm running a 200 watt Spider Farm quantum board, so flat aluminium basic heatsink, a 240 watt Mead World driver, decent light, but it just doesn't have the impact that I want. Now, I was thinking about changing it out for one of the Spider Farmer 300 watts, the bar design. I've done a review on that. I've done a review on both of these. Now, that just outperforms the 200 watt by a mile, and I thought it would be sort of ideal to do a test and see how using something like this would improve it, or whether it doesn't make a difference. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put together two 20 watt floodlights, and we'll go through the building process of what I'm going to do, and then we'll add them. We'll do a few tests and see how we get on. Now, I'm not expecting miracles because I'm only adding 40 watts, and these are 4000K, which isn't ideal for flowering, which I know. But I like doing stuff, as you know, building my own stuff and seeing how we get on. So yeah, so what I'll do is I'll get all of these unpacked, and then I'll go through how I'm going to put this together. Right, I've got everything unboxed. These are pretty tiny, as you can see. Well, I've got quite big hands, but yeah, everything I've got here is fit for purpose. So IP65 rated, junction box IP65 rated, and then glands IP65 rated. So what the plan is to do is we'll build it here electrical wise, and then I'll show you how I'm going to mount it in the cubicle, because I've got twin slot shelving brackets installed for fans and stuff like that, so I'll be able to mount these on the same system, which is handy, also convenient. So what I'll do is I'll put these together, and then we'll come back and I'll show you what I've done. Right, we have the glands in the box, and with this particular type of box, 20mm openings, and they're rubber, so when you put the glands in and tighten them up, they keep that IP65 rating. So what we're going to do now, feed the cables through and connect them, and then tighten them up. So what I'll do is I'll get them all connected, and then I'll come back and we'll tighten everything up. Right, all the connections in the box, and all we do now is tighten up these. So that's not going anywhere. And then on goes the cover. And I just broke my screwdriver. So that is pretty much the gist of the wiring. So we've got junction box. Just go over one thing as well. The junction box did come with this. Now, that's alright, but I used one of these instead. Just prefer to use this. Would have preferred to use Wagos, but they can be a bit of a pain in the ass with stranded cable. I could have crimped and put ferrules on them, but to be honest, it'll do exactly the same job. So that's the wiring. 2.5mm Arctic cable, bit of an overkill, but that's what I've got lying around. So this is just a case of doing something that's, you know, cheap, and it's just a test. If this works, then you never know, I might upgrade these to 50s instead of 20s, and go from adding 40 watts to 100 watts. But like I said, it's all a test, see how he gets on. Plug, it's going to go on there, but I'm not going to do it at the moment because I've broken my screwdriver and I can't be asked to go and get another one, so I'm going to call it quits here. You'll see me in a very few seconds. Right, okay, now we're going to be working on the mountings. Like I said, I've got twin slot shelving in the chamber, so I'm going to utilise one of these to hold the light. Chose this because this is basically halfway in the chamber, so I can utilise this hole. I'm going to attach it using some machine screws, and just going to make this hole a little bit bigger. So what I'll do is I'll do that now, and then we'll come back and I'll show you how I'm going to fix it on. Okay, just opened it up. Used a 6mm metal bit and literally straight through, no issues. Okay, got mounted to the brackets. Could have done with slightly longer screws, if I'm totally honest, as they're only just over the nut. Put 2 washers in, one lower, one top, just gives you that little bit of movement without loosening the nut off, and also it just takes the strain off the bracket. So what we'll do next, we'll go and install them and see how they look. Right, we have them installed, so you can see what I chose, because you can raise them and lower them, they're not going anywhere. This I will fix at some point, but I'm just testing it at the moment, so we can leave that for a minute. So at the moment we are running the quantum board. This is the Spider Farmer SF2000. Yep, 240 watt mid-wheel driver. Like I said before, it's not a bad light, but it just doesn't have that oomph as what the 300 watt has. So light wise, not bad. If we turn this off, yeah, it's not a bad. And then if we have this one on, yeah, we'll give it a go, and we'll see how we get on with it. Just to sort of clarify, I do have a socket which I installed that does run off a timer, so they both will turn on and off simultaneously, so you know there's no issues with overlapping or anything like that. But yeah, and I know that the electrics looks a bit janky at the moment. As I said, I'm just testing. I will make safe eventually, but at the moment I'm not going to hardwire it all in for it not to work and then for me to strip it all out. Alright, I'll leave it there. Take it easy.